Today, we want to share with you some tips on working with your significant elder. And,
Not always easy.
And Kirsten and I have been working together for years. We started off together in 2001 working in real estate, and shortly thereafter, Kirsten went her own way and I continued in real estate until just a few years ago when we started Life Without a Boss. The number one thing I would say that's important when you're working with your partner, your life partner, your wife, whatever, is to set goals together, because it's really important to have a clear vision and outcome between the two of you, I think.
Yeah, and if you haven't done that yet, don't worry. We have a link down below to an exercise that's quite quick and easy to start your goal and try to figure out what you guys want for this new decade.
Yeah, it's a great, fast goal-setting video. It's under 5 minutes, and to do it, you can do it in an hour. It's really, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. And the next thing is to really know how your partner works. So we took an Enneagram test, which there's a couple different types of tests you can do, but that one is free online. We'll put a link down below also to that one. And it talks about, it's about 120 questions asking you about things that are important to you and how you work and your inner workings of it. And
well, it's kind of insightful, and I would have to say that Kirsten and I are pretty very opposite. Kirsten is a number 9, a peacemaker, and a number 2, the helper. And by the helper, that means that Kirsten wants to help every single person, dead bird on the side of the road, etc. And I like to help people as well, but Kirsten sometimes is a little bit too helpful.
Well, I'm the peacemaker also, like in my family and life. I'm always wanting people to be happy, so that's kind of me, and which is really different than Mark, because Mark is the challenger. He does not like to be controlled, so he's always trying to make sure he's on top of things and, regimenting things. And he's also the achiever, which makes perfect sense because he's very achieving or success driven. So for him, it's really important to be achieving all the time, which drives me crazy sometimes because I just want to be at peace and be happy and be like the little hippie-ish, and he wants to be like hard charging and achieving. So now that we know that, it makes sense for us to how we work together.
Yeah, and knowing, how the other person is oriented in their drive really makes a difference, because I recognize sometimes when I'm like trying to, push Kirsten to do so many things, and she just is not moving. She's a lot like a sloth, and you can't get a sloth running. And
a sloth.
Yeah, well, meaning
you heard it here. A sloth.
You know what I mean.
You'll pay for that later. Anyway.
The next thing.
Prioritize our relationship. You can just call me a sloth. Okay.
Anyway.
Prioritize the relationship.
You have to take time and recognize that you are working together, but above the work product, you have a relationship. And without that relationship, everything else is screwed up. So we make sure that throughout the day, we have little conversations that are not work related and that are funny, and we just try to keep things light.
And one of the things that we always make sure is to make sure you're having fun. Because life is stressful, work can be really stressful. So if you're both sitting at your desk and you're stressing out, then life is, obviously no fun. But if you don't take a break from that and like walk away, go outside. I usually make Mark do this stupid dance that he hates to do, but it makes him giggle, and it like kind of resets your state, and then you go back into work and you have a little bit of a refreshed mind. And I think that whatever works for you, do that. But make sure you're having some fun and some giggles throughout the day.
Yeah, it's really important. I think Anthony Robbins touches on how if over time you continually are in this grumpy mood, and every time you see your partner that you're working with, you're in this grumpy mood, it almost starts to act as if a trigger. You see your partner, you get in a grumpy mood, even when you're not. So it's important to break that up and make sure that you're having fun. And probably the last thing that I'll share with you is make sure you know what's really important and be grateful. And for me, I know you've probably heard me and you're probably bored with me chiming on about it, but I can't stress enough that when you come from a place of being grateful, you open up the floodgates for everything. Opportunity, romance, just about everything.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be something so big. It can be something small. I mean, every morning Mark wakes me up, even when I want to be sleeping, and says, "What are you grateful for?" And I'm like, I can't even think straight, you know. But sometimes the first thing that comes to mind is that when we open our windows here, it's blue skies every day, and that is such a mood booster for me. So I am always grateful for the blue skies that I see. And it's not anything major. It doesn't have to be so intense or deep. It can just be that you have spaghetti on your plate tonight for dinner, like whatever it is that makes you happy. But just recognize it within. So
yeah, and honestly, she's right. It doesn't have to be anything massive to be grateful about. But I will say, sometimes it's really cool to come from a place where you're like, thank you for all these massive achievements that I'm going to get in the future.
Yeah.
Because then you're future pacing yourself, and it makes you excited. And when you're excited about the future as opposed to dreading the future, it's like, oh my God, in 3 more days it's the beginning of a new month and I don't have enough for the mortgage and the car payment, all that crap. Instead of that, it's like, I'm so excited about in 2 months when I'll have enough money to make all the bills and take my honey out to a great restaurant for dinner.
It'll take me a while to get there because I'm a sloth.
All right, well, speaking of that, it's time for us to have dinner. So I hope you found these 5 tips to be helpful. I'll go back over them real quick. Set goals together. Know how your partner works. Prioritize your relationship. Make sure you're having fun. And be grateful. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we hope you have a great day, and we hope you find this helpful. Take care.
Bye.